the marriage. Chef Jay, do you agree with that point?
Actually, oddly enough, I do. And this is here is why. Me personally, I'm not a holiday person. I'm the worst. And the sad thing, I cook. So I'm supposed to be cooking things for the holidays and stuff like that. And that's the only reason I know they're coming up and stuff like that. Like, I don't care. To me, Mother's Day is every day my child is alive. Every day my child tells me I love you. That I get Mother's Day every single day to me. And so to me, it doesn't really matter that one day. I also do agree with Mother's Day are for children to praise their mother, not spouses, not partners, and all of these things. Now, it's nice to have those things from your partner and all that, especially if your partner is the one who made you a mother or whatnot. And so, yes, I do agree with the statement. Now, when I put myself in Jess's shoes and think how Jess thinks with everything that we know about her now and how her upbringing is and everything like that, I get where she's coming from. You know, those little things to her, the sentimental things are what matter. You know, funny story is like my dad is sentimental like that. You know, he's like, I did all this wonderful things for your mom for her birthday and she got me a card. Like, it's crazy like that. You know, he wants it reciprocated. And so like knowing having these type of people in my life, I kind of get where the mentality is on certain things. You know, it's like you should be thinking about me in that moment. So I get where she's coming from. You know, for her it was, you should have just had the NIF. And she even kind of said it like, you could at least called or brought me a 99-cent card. That's exactly what she said. You could have bought me a 99-cent card to at least say that you're thinking of me. And that's all it really is the thought of it all. She just wants to know that you are thinking about her. Now, as far as the baby situation, we keep walking a fine line on this because that is that man's deal breaker. He wants another baby or whatnot. His reasons could be selfish or whatnot, as y'all say, but honestly, if you're playing pro ball, you're missing out on some valuable years of your baby's life. Valuable time. Depending on the time of year when they're born, you're missing their first steps, their first words, you know, all of these things could be missing. And you want that experience. And you want that experience with somebody you love. You know, he might not have been in love with his baby's mother, or they might not have had a relationship like that. But sometimes you want that with your partner that you love, to go through these experiences together, to go to the hospital and look at the ultrasound, be there at the deliveries and stuff. We don't know what aspects he missed of it or whatever. So for him, I don't think it's selfish. It's more so I miss these parts with my first two children, and I want to make up for that. And I want to make up with the person that I love and who I see as my wife. Now, where I have a problem with Jess is she's not sold on the idea. And when she comes later on in the show, and when they're in front of Dr. Nicole, she's like, well, I want these steps. Understandable. Have your steps. But see, you can have those steps and then get into the marriage and play games and do a bunch of things and not give this man a baby. And it comes years down the line and he's like, okay, I want my child. And you're over here taking birth controls and you're going to have secret abortions and you're doing all of these things, causing more toxicity in your relationship than needs to be. And next thing you know, we're on a divorce. That's not what the goal is. We need to stay married once we get married. So this has to be a real conversation on, really, do you want to have a baby with me? Or do you want to even have a baby at all? Because if not, we kind of might need to go our separate ways. It might hurt right now, but if I'm set on this and you're set on that, let's just part ways and at least be mutual and amicable about it as we go.
Good points, Chef Jay. Different perspective. Okay, I hear that. Lovely. Different points of view from each person. Love it. Let me get someone else in. Sean, let me get you involved, bro. Locked and loaded. You know, the comment that was made here, Jess is not his mother. I'm a mother, and my husband and kids can wish me happy Mother's Day. If I was dating another man, I wouldn't require him to wish me anything. I'm not his children's mother. Do you agree with that statement, sir?
I agree if it works for, like in this instance, this is Happy Daily, right? So that's her sentiments, and they're able to agree with that as a, as a couple. And as long as she's cool with it, then it works for them. And I think that's what's important in a marriage. It's what works for the both of you. When I was married, I was a stepdad. So I celebrated Mother's Day with my mom. And then I also acknowledged Mother's Day for my wife, because it was important to her. It was important to me. So I think that I say all that to say is like, you got to do what's right and works for your relationship. And in this instance, and I've got a full range of smoke for Jessica. I don't think her request is unrealistic. I actually think she fully communicated to him what was important to her, and he chose for whatever reason to ignore it. And that's not right. So I think that he could definitely do a better job of giving her what she needs, especially when she communicates it to him. And it's not like she was saying, jump over the sun and the moon and bring me, I want a blinged out Rolex. She was like, give me a card, some flowers, a date night, whatever. And then it sounded like, for whatever reason, she didn't have her kids with her. So, that kind of pulls at my empathy a little bit too, because I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why, especially out of all days on Mother's Day, might you not have your kids with you. So I think that's what I heard. I think I kind of got that. So all of those things together, which would be for me in a relationship with someone that has kids, would be something that I'd be attuned to make sure that I'm doing my level best to help her in that moment. And again, these aren't difficult things to do. These aren't stretched things. These are just being human and exercising a level of empathy. On the other note, I do fully understand, and it was a little trigger for me when I heard that she didn't want to have kids, and she was very adamant about it in their conversation. And when they were sitting alone in their bedroom, it changed a little bit with a little more wiggle room once they got to the session with Dr. Nicole. But I tend to believe somebody says what they mean when they say it. And if she emphatically said it a couple of different times that she was not interested in having any more children, I would consider her line of work, being a model, influencer, or, in the beauty industry, she, may have some legitimate concerns about what pregnancy is going to do for her and how that would impact her career. So you got to make those tough decisions. I mean, Eric said it, like, no kids, no marriage, she can walk out the door. So I think they need to make sure they're on the same page. And God knows you don't want someone doing something just to stay in a marriage. That is the worst thing you can do. So if she relents and has a baby just to please him, nobody wants a pity baby. That's the worst conditions to bring a child into this earth. So I really hope they figure out how they're going to move forward, and make that decision. If she doesn't want to have kids, be honest. It's going to hurt in the beginning, but be honest, and you guys can't be together because it's something that's important to him. And just like you can't change for Jess around how she wants to feel valued during certain times, she shouldn't be trying to change his opinion of him wanting additional kids. It's what he wants. And when a man says they want kids, I know exactly what that feels like. I don't want my mind changed, and I can totally understand how he shouldn't have to have his changed as well.
Solid points. Appreciate it, Sean.